Yes, good morning to our CDP Labs Daily Services subscribers and of course the JOSA Online Academy family. And also good morning to our Facebook personnels, friends and family. And to those viewing this perhaps even on WhatsApp, wherever you see this video. Now, I have a concern about a news that I have read and I've listened to concerning CXC, Caribbean Examination Council, decision to take away the privilege of students from doing the school-based assessment because of their fear of the students using AI to, provide to create or give them help with the SBA. While I can understand that with the use of the AI technology, students would not have been utilizing their critical thinking skills and other skills that goes along with your higher order thinking skills in a sense. However, though, my concern is with the decision that they have made in terms of how they are going to replace school-based assessment with an alternative paper where students can go and carry reference notes and use during that assessment, which I give them a month to give them the topic a month in advance. I can't think that this is not critical thinking on the side of CHC. I think it's more short-sightedness. But before I continue to share my comments, I am going to have you watch a video that I saw on Facebook. Then I'm going to read to you on the screen the position of CDP Labs Daily Services in that regard. And I'll also say more on the topic. All right. So let us watch this video together and, hear what you have to say about it. And of course, I really want to hear what you have to say about it, So let's watch this video together. All right. Let's watch it together.
Reforms will affect both the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination, CAPE, and the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate, CSEC programs. According to the Caribbean Examinations Council, the changes are designed to strengthen the integrity of the assessment process in response to the rapid rise of generative artificial intelligence and other technological intended to discourage the use of generative AI as a learning tool. Instead, Dr. Wesley said the new measures are aimed at safeguarding the credibility and fairness of students' assessments. Meanwhile, CXC's Director of Operations, Dr. Nicole Manning, explained that school-based assessments for practical subjects will remain unchanged.
For subjects that are truly practical in nature, subjects like agricultural science, visual arts, music, physical education, technical drawing, food, nutrition, and health, the SBA will remain. These are subjects where hands-on project-based assessment still gives us something that an examination room cannot replicate. And for this reason, we will retain those SBAs and strengthen how they are moderated. However, for non-practical based subjects like mathematics, English, Caribbean history, social studies, principles of business, and others, we will be transitioning away from the traditional SBA.
However, she noted that an alternative assessment module will replace the traditional SBA for non-practical subjects.
In its place, candidates will be required to sit a Paper 3-2, the current alternative assessment conducted under examination conditions, but with important and considered adjustments. And what will these adjustments be, you might ask? In preparation for these assessments, candidates will receive their topics approximately 1 month before the assessment, and they will be permitted to bring reference notes into the examination room with them. For us at CXC, this is a thoughtful, deliberate design that achieves two important things. One, it
All right, so you have heard it, and you can go on YouTube and of course watch the rest of it. So let me end this video itself. Now, I'm going to now read to you our position, and then I'll say more as I promised. So let's now look at the position of CDP Labs Edu Services in this regard. Let me bring it up for you, our letter. And this is our position, right? This is a position we are taking. Let me show you, okay? So we're taking this position. Now, so CDP Labs Edu Services position on CXC's SBA reform. CDP Labs Edu Services strongly disagrees with CXC's decision regarding the proposed reform of the school-based assessment. While we support meaningful improvements to assessment, replacing the current approach with a traditional pen and paper assessment represents a step backward rather than forward. Education in the 21st century should focus on developing critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, and real-world problem-solving skills, not simply testing students' ability to recall information under examination conditions. Instead, we encourage CXC to modernize the SBA by introducing authentic assessments that allow students to demonstrate learning through practical investigations, projects, portfolios, research, presentations, experiments, community-based activities, and other real-world applications. Such assessments better prepare learners for higher education, the workplace, lifelong learning. Authentic assessment promotes deeper understanding, innovation, and the application of knowledge in meaningful contexts. This aligns more closely with the skills employers and universities increasingly value. CDP Labs Edu Services respectfully urges CXC to reconsider its approach and engage educators, students, and parents and industry stakeholders in developing an assessment model that reflects the demands of modern education rather than returning to more traditional methods. Let's move education forward, not backward. So that is the position that CDP Labs Edu Services has taken. And of course, as a member of the JOSA team, we strongly believe that our students should be prepared for the world of work. Now, let me just share just a few little examples as to what can be done. Now, let us begin with statistics then. There are a lot of small businesses in the Caribbean, in the world at large. But let's speak specifically to Jamaica. where these small business persons are not understanding why their business is not performing as good as it could, or better than it is performing. And our students could go into these small businesses and do maybe a 1 or 2 weeks or a month apprenticeship exercise, utilizing their mathematical knowledge that they have gained into the workforce, solving problems, using maths to solve problems, right? And in a sense, because accounting is what will take place right there, which is still mathematics. Accounting is still mathematics. You see the integration between what we call accounting and mathematics. Now, students can gather data, out there in real world application, and which come under statistics, because most SBAs, they fall into statistics, right? So students can gather data from these small businesses, right? And use and prepare the data. Basically, they're applying what they have learned in statistics authentically. It's authentic. And of course, while they're doing this on the premises, they would have obviously been monitored, right? So instead of going back to this alternative paper, that's nonsense. That's backward thinking. Very, very backward. There are more better ways to develop the SBA and make it more fruitful and to rightly being used for the very reason it was intended for in the very beginning. Right? Now, in measurement, you have teachers who can have students build model buildings, geometry, build model buildings in the classroom. The students bring their materials and they build these model buildings in the classroom, applying what they were taught by their teachers and what they have learned in the building of these things, being creative, and write their reports, same place in class, and what they have done, creating their journals. So what I'm simply saying is that nonsense of going back to a paper two, and they're thinking that because they're going to give the students the opportunity to bring in reference notes and turn into an open book test, basically. That's what they're really doing. They're turning CXC into an open book test for SBA. That's backward. Very, very backward. I think CXC should reconsider what they're doing and come up with something better. What's your view? Give me your view in the comments on this YouTube channel, or give me a view on the Facebook. Let us have this conversation. Let's think about it.